Governor, I first want to ask you, how did you first learn of the president's decision to leave the campaign?
I think like the rest of the world, right? I was doing an event in Trenton and got out of the car and walked in, and one of my staff people shared with me that the president decided not to stay in the race. So I was a little surprised, but I'm really glad that we have a vice president who is ready to meet this moment, and I'm excited. And I think that the reaction has been really energizing. So I think that it's important to recognize that Joe Biden has dedicated decades of his life to serving the public. We're very fortunate that as he decides the time is, his time has come to a close, we've got someone to step in the breach who is incredibly capable and an exciting candidate.
Have you had a chance to talk to the vice president or even the president since the past 24 hours?
I've not spoken with POTUS. I have talked with the vice president a couple of times, and I'm continuing on as a co-chair of the campaign. And I think, eager to help make sure that Michigan our voices are well heard in this campaign as I expect them to be in the Harris administration.
What's her feeling? How is she doing right now since all this came out?
She's a loyal person, and she was by the president's side and has been, I think, an incredible partner to him. And so I think we all have to take a moment to say thank you to him for his work, but there's also not a whole lot of time, and so we're getting organized, and I'm excited to go to convention in Chicago with a new ticket. I don't know who her running mate will be, but I know she'll pick someone that she trusts and is capable, and I'm sure we'll have a great story to tell.
And I'm assuming you're going to be speaking at the DNC.
I don't know yet. A lot of people have made that assumption. Michigan's a very important state, and so as a co-chair, all those other things might make sense for me. But I've not seen any final agenda yet, so I'm just excited to be attending.
Before we talk more about the vice president, I do want to talk about you a little bit. You've become a star in the DNC, and over the weekend, we kept hearing your name floated around on all the cable news. How do you feel about your name being associated with a possible VP pick?
Well, it's very, it's an honor to be considered among some of the leaders across the country to take on these top jobs. All of that being said, I know I sound like a broken record, and I know no one believes it when I say it, but my focus really is Michigan. I have no plans to go anywhere. I want to serve out the remainder of my term, and then who knows what happens after that, but I'm not going to take my eye off the ball. We've got an important presidential election in a matter of months now, and 2 more years of important work that I want to continue doing as governor.
In the meantime, you're co-chair for the Harris for President campaign. Just want to make sure to get that right. Yes. What is the goal now here in Michigan? Our Epic MRA polling shows that former President Trump was ahead by several points here. How do you close that gap in such a short amount of time?
I think the reaction to the news just in the last 24 hours has been incredible. It tells me that there are a lot of people who are excited about Kamala Harris' candidacy. We've gotten just inundated in terms of contributions as well as volunteers. Resumes are coming in now, and so I think that there's a lot of energy. The polling, just even from the last week, doesn't mean a whole lot anymore. And polls, I think, are to be taken in as a data point, but no one can predict what's going to happen in the next couple of months, much less could we have predicted we'd be here today just 3 weeks ago. So let's go.
How do you battle back? Because there are some things that's associated with the vice president. We're talking about her involvement with the border and then also being linked to the Biden administration. So what's going to be your role in trying to say, hey, you know what, there are other sides to the vice president?
Oh, the vice president is an incredibly capable leader. She is a prosecutor, and her opponent is a 34 times convicted felon. There's no question that we are going to have a stark choice in this election. Kamala Harris has dedicated much of her professional life to public service. She's got more time in public service than J.D. Vance and Donald Trump combined. She knows what it means to get things done and how to cross the aisle in order to deliver for people, and that's why she's got my wholehearted support, and I'm going to work my tail off to support her and make sure that she wins this race.
What do you think about the former president and his running mate, the things that they have said about women publicly? Is that something you're going to remind voters of as you hit the campaign trail?
Well, you know, the beauty of the ugly things that they say is we just have to play the footage. I don't have to even put words in their mouth. They've done it. This is a moment, I think, in America where we have to decide who are we going to be. Do we want 4 more years of a Trump presidency that undermines our systems of democracy, that belittles his fellow Americans, that stokes violence? Or do we want a leader who is ready to step in and continue the work of onshoring supply chains, bringing down the cost of insulin, helping people keep more money in their pockets, and ensuring that all people are held to the same standards and the rule of law? If any of those things are important, and I think they're all important, it's a very easy choice to vote for Kamala Harris in this election.
What's next for you now? What's after you're done with today? Is it hitting the campaign trail? What are you up to now?
I'll be doing a lot of campaigning with the vice president and her running mate. We'll be doing a lot to get out the vote, to get people registered, to get ready for this election. And I'll imagine I'll do a little bit of travel on her behalf as well. So I am continue to do the work as governor and all these other hats I have on as well.
I do want to ask you, do you believe that the president made the right decision?
You know what, I would never weigh in publicly about whether or not he should make a decision like this, and I'm not going to weigh in whether or not he made the right decision. No one knows what's going on with another individual. We might know parts of it, but no one knows the full story. And so I'm grateful for the president's service. He's been a great ally to me. He certainly has helped the state of Michigan a great deal. And I'm excited about this new chapter.